Now we're going to look at a slightly more complicated calculation from an equation. Not very, a little bit. So first thing you have to do, look at the question. Calculate the mass of iron that could be obtained from 80 grams of iron 3 oxide. So what's the first step, Miss McLaren?
Well, what we do is we read the question and then we refer to the chemical equation. So for example, it says mass of iron. So we're interested in this section of the equation, and then it's obtained from 80 grams of iron 3 oxide. Iron 3 oxide is here, so we actually use this section.
Very important to underline, because then you can ignore the rest of the equation and just focus on the two things that you're interested in. So what do we have to do next?
Well, we'll look at the balanced chemical equation, and then we'll look and we work out the mole ratio, and it's easy to do that. As you can see, iron 3 oxide is Fe2O3. There's one of those, and the reason why I mention one is because there's no number in front, so you make the assumption it's one. So you have 1 mole of iron 3 oxide will produce 2 moles of iron.
So to work out the mole ratio, you look at the big numbers in front of the formulae, and if there's no big number, you assume it's 1.
That is correct, Dr. Gore.
Okay, so we know that 1 mole of iron 3 oxide makes 2 moles of iron, but how much does 1 mole of iron 3 oxide weigh?
Well, from our previous vlog, we actually can work out the MR of iron 3 oxide. In this case is 160, so the mass of 1 mole is 160 grams.
So is it correct that the mass of 1 mole of anything is the same as its MR?
MR or AR if you're dealing with atoms.
Okay, so here we had 2 irons and 3 oxygens, so we add 2 56s for the iron together, and then 3 times 16 for the oxygens, in order to get our 160.
160
Okay.
grams.
So 160 grams of iron 3 oxide gives us 2 moles. So how much would 1 mole be?
For the iron, the AR is 56, which means 2 moles would be 2 times 56, which is 112 grams.
Okay, excellent. So far we know that 160 grams of iron 3 oxide produces 112 grams. Now we go back to the question. Have we got 160 grams? No, we have got 80 grams. So we have to work out what?
The number of moles. The number of moles is mass over the MR or AR. So in this case, the mass is 80 grams. So the number of moles would be 80 over the mass of 1 mole, which is 160. So that would give you 0.5 moles. And from the balanced equation, if you have 0.5 moles, then you can see it's a ratio of 1 mole to 2 moles. So if you've got 0.5, then that would actually be twice that number. So you'd have 1 mole of iron produced.
Lovely. So 1 to 2, that means you have to get this, you have to double anything there. So if that's 0.5, you double it, you get 1 mole.
That is correct.
Now we have to convert that back into grams.
And
so 1 mole of iron is
56.
Same
So
as
if you
its
can
AR.
remember, it was actually as its AR. So 1 mole of iron would be 56 grams.
Perfect. So the whole thing is calculate the mass of iron obtained from 80 grams of iron 3 oxide. 80 grams of iron 3 oxide produces 56 grams of iron.
Perfect.
Excellent. Easy peasy,
Peasy, lemon squeezy.